the news update, and my name is Deborah Ezeh. Our first stop is on the foreign scene, and we begin from North Korea. North Korea successfully fired a new long-range cruise missile. It was reported that the missile hit targets 932 miles away, flying along different patterns, in tests over the North Korean during the weekend. It described the missile as a strategic weapon of great significance. South Korea said its military was analyzing the launches using U.S. and South Korean intelligence. The U.S. military Indo-Pacific Command said this activity highlights North Korea's continuing focus on developing its military program and the threats that poses to its neighbor and international community. It was North Korea's first known testing activity since March, when it launched a new short-range tactical missile. And away from that story, in Europe, the United Nations is convening an aid conference in Geneva in an effort to raise more than $6 million for Afghanistan, warning of a humanitarian crisis there following the Taliban takeover. Even before the Taliban siege of Kabul last month, half the population, or 18 million people, was dependent on aid. The figure looks set to increase due to droughts and shortages of cash and food, U.S. official and aid group warned. And COVID-19 updates from India. India reported 27,254 new coronavirus infections and 219 deaths in the past 24 hours, the health ministry said. Total cases have now climbed to 33.26 million, while deaths have risen to 442,874. The tally of activity cases has declined to 3,074,269, which comprises of 1.13% of the total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate was recorded at 97.54%, the ministry said. The number of people who had recuperated from the disease surged to 3.24 million for 7,032, while the case fatality rate was recorded at 1.3%. Away from the foreign scene and on the African scene, hundreds of opposition supporters gathered in the Angolan capital Luanda to protest against the changes to the electoral law that they say will undermine the transparency of the next year's general election. President João Lourenço introduced a bill this week to centralize the counting of votes instead of doing it at the level of each municipality and province. All opposition MPs abstained or voted against the reform, but they had little influence in the parliament, largely dominated by the ruling Popular Movement of the Liberation of Angola. Moving on, in Tunisia, President Kais Saied announced the appointment as soon as possible of a new government and mentioned the future reform of the constitution during a walkabout in Tunis. A new government will be formed as soon as possible after selecting the most honest personality. He did not give a precise date for the formation of the government, adding, "We are continuing the search for personality who will assume this responsibility." And in Guinea, a leading figure in Guinea's opposition has urged regional bloc ECOWAS not to impose economic sanctions on Guinea's new military regime, describing the recent coup as a welcome development. Guinea's ruling military has been coming under growing diplomatic pressure after special forces led by Lieutenant Colonel Mamadou Dubao seized power last Sunday and arrested Condé. ECOWAS suspended Guinea on Wednesday, and on Friday, the African Union followed suit. And we move to the Nigerian scene, where schools resumed today for the commencement of the 2021/2022 academic section across the country. But it will be a cheery return for thousands of pupils, especially in the northern Nigeria, already traumatized by reports of incessant mass abduction. Already, stakeholders have expressed fears about the security of learners and teachers. Data released by the United Nations Children Fund (UNICEF) in 2018 showed that more than 600,000 children have lost access to education due to disruption in learning occasioned by kidnapping. And still in Nigeria, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has spent about 364 billion naira transporting premium motor spirit from abroad, adding at least 21 naira to pump price of every liter of the product consumed by Nigerians. Between March 2020 and March 2021, the most populous black nation gulped roughly 17.265 billion liters of petrol in the absence of functional refinery. The quantity shipped swallowed 336 billion naira, despite a crude swamp deal that creates double freight expenses. And also, 5 northern states, 2 southwestern states, 2 south-south states, and 1 southeast state collected a total of 373.84 billion naira of the 836.51 billion naira value-added tax allocation available for states in 14 months. This is according to the latest FAAC allocation data available from the National Bureau of Statistics for the months of January 2020 through to February 2021. In the period under review, the 36 states of the Federation and federal government shared 1.09 trillion naira as VAT revenue from the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee. The top 10 states were Lagos of 153.94 billion naira, Kano 32.48 billion naira, Oyo 29.85 billion naira, Rivers 28.43 billion naira, Kaduna 24.75 billion naira, Katsina 22.72 billion naira, Delta 20.91 billion naira, Bauchi 20.49 billion naira, Anambra 20.40 billion naira, and Jigawa 20.13 billion naira. Lagos got the largest share of VAT revenue in the period under review of 153.94 billion naira, while Nasarawa got the least allocation of 15.36 billion naira. And away from the African scene and sports, the cast is gradually getting ready for the maiden Aisha Buhari International Invitation Women Football Tournament, which holds in Lagos from Wednesday. Although already some of the team involved in the championship are expected to arrive in Lagos today and start putting finishing touches to their strategy to win the championship, which now becomes a fever-grading event. And finally, Liverpool lost Harvey Elliott to a serious injury against Leeds on Sunday, but Thiago Alcantara and Fabiano Sean in the 3-0 win. The game will of course be remembered primarily for the sickening injury sustained by Harvey Elliott. The suspected dislocated ankle is a cruel blow for the 18-year-old who started the season brilliantly, but Liverpool's midfield is in good hands. And that's it on news updates on AFRICUNIA TV. Don't forget to visit our social media platform and join my program. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment on the comment section. You can also get more news updates on our website at africunia.tv. Once again, I'm Deborah Ezeh. See you tomorrow.